All righty, everybody. Oh, happy day. I hope you're doing insanely well. I am here with John. It's going to be a fun time with you. We're going to go over some fun things. He did 13 sales in, my goodness, 7 days. 13 sales in 7 days on the phones. Recently graduated the Telemastery program, and we're going to just chit chat and talk about what it's like. And oh, by the way, not everybody will accomplish what John has accomplished in this industry. So just to understand, this business is very simple, but it is not easy. And roughly 90% of agents industry-wide don't make it. So just saying, this isn't team rah-rah. We're going to give you some reality and go through what success looks like as well. All right. So John, thanks for joining us, brother. Say hey.
Yeah, what's up, Jason? Thanks for having me. Hello, YouTube. Happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. To do 13 sales in 7 days, you sold 8 Medicare Advantage programs, 5 final expense products as well. So
Yep,
you did all of this by phone, correct? For the
that
audience to
is
understand.
correct. Yep, that is correct.
And you worked for a different starter company prior to. Have you ever had an experience where you were able to sell 13 by phone or anywhere close to that in 7 days?
Not even a little bit. Nope,
Oh,
not
so
even
no.
close.
Now you've been in the insurance industry for a bit, but you've never had that ever.
Right. Yeah, I've been licensed for about 2 years now, but nowhere near 13. I think like 6 is like my second best week. So something like that. In the ballpark of 6, 7, something like that. So like half.
You basically got 100% more production
Yep.
than you've ever had following your experience in the telemastery program.
Yep. Yep. That is totally right.
Now, when we went through the telemastery program, was it easy going
No,
through that?
no, it was not easy. It was not easy at all. It was it was a lot of work and it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. Not li I mean, it was the changing point in, like, my career, honestly. It was worth it.
I'm so proud of you. I mean, for you to be able to do that many sales in that period of time, that's a lot of hard work. I mean, for everybody watching, this
Mhm.
doesn't come cheap, easy, or free. Okay. He invested in the training. He was a student of the business. He didn't just like say, okay, I'm an insurance agent. I'm just going to get on the phones and it's going to be like this, okay,
Yeah.
thing where everybody just buys from me. He had to have skill here. Okay. Those 13 sales, I'm guessing, gave you some objections, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think a couple of them, 2 of them, as a matter of fact, started off with, the beginning of the phone call of, um, "Why are you calling me 3 times?" And, to put it,
Right.
in a G-rated format, "Why are you calling me 3 times, and who are you?" Add in a couple words there,
Right.
but it ended up in a positive thing, and they at the end, they're like, "Thank you so much. I'm so happy I got a hold of you, and I have, someone that will be there to answer my questions going forward." But yeah, no, plenty of objections, which I was prepared for. None of them, we go over all of them. I'm just trying to think. I don't think I got any objection that we did not cover, honestly.
You weren't ever in a position once you graduated where you're like, okay, someone's going to say something and I'm not going to know how to respond.
Yeah, no, I was not in that position. I was, I had the tools for sure. And that the biggest thing is part of what I attribute some of this last week to in terms of success is writing the momentum that you get from that week of training, of just heavily training, being in that environment. And if you can ride that momentum into the immediate next week, I mean, immediately buy your leads. You got to get over the mindset. You got to invest in yourself. You got to do that. Ride the momentum into the next week, and that's going to be the best thing you can do. And just keep riding that momentum.
Absolutely. And you witnessed other folks in your graduating class that also wrote business. My goodness,
Yep.
I think, it's pretty exciting to watch,
Yep.
Faith drop hers. And I think she was on like, I don't know, it was either call number 37, I think is what she was when she got her first sale, when she bought leads. And
Right.
just exciting, to witness folks that your graduating class worked hard and then
Yep.
bought those leads and just experienced success. And that's not
Yep.
always common.
Yeah. No, it isn't. It's like we always say, it's simple when it's laid out, and there's a path that you can follow. That's people that if you follow it and you put in the hard work and you have a good mindset, especially after going through the training with you and having access to you, it's completely different from anywhere else. You're going to have the best chances of success, I think, honestly. Yeah.
And you've done this quite a few years. You've had some different IMOs prior. And just for the audience, when you need me, how long does it take you typically to get a hold of me?
Oh,
Typically,
you're
not
working
that you need me.
24/7. I feel like you're just constantly have the phone at the ready. I mean, I have asked you probably dozens of questions at this point with a text. We've had a couple phone calls. You always answer my phone calls. If the very rare chance you don't answer the phone call, you call me literally immediately back. It's probably because you have to drop the other call real quick. But I mean, sending a text, I think the longest I waited was like 5 minutes. Longest, 99% of them were not even 60 seconds. So, I mean, you're there
Was
whenever I
that
need
ever
you.
your experience in your starter companies, like the other IMOs you're with? What was your
No,
experience prior to? Like, how was your interaction like with training and mentoring? Was anyone there for you quickly? Like, did you have to schedule calls to talk to somebody? Like, how available were the past,
right.
places that you've been at?
So availability was nowhere, not even close to your availability. It was usually you have to schedule to talk to them. Um, maybe call them and they might get back to you, a couple hours later or something. Text them a couple hours later or something, or you have like the group chat thing, which you couple hours probably is the best you're looking at for a response in there. But nothing, yeah, no, not nearly as good as your response times, not even close.
When you're on the phones like we all are, right? And if you have to wait 2, 3 hours, would that maybe cost you financially now that you understand tele
Oh
and when you
yeah.
have something and you know your jam now, you know
Yeah.
your stuff. So, but sometimes we all have little questions sometimes. Carriers
Yep.
have quirks on occasion. And
Right.
would you feel that that would maybe cost you money not having that response in a quick time frame?
Without a doubt. Yep. Without a doubt, that can cost you thousands of dollars
I mean, it
in a
does.
week. I mean, it totally can. Yeah, it's critical. And that's the most important thing is having access to good training and a good mentor that has the experience and has the knowledge and has the investment in you that's going to be there for you, that answers your call, that will drop other calls for you, that will respond to your text message in 30 seconds 99.99% of the time. That is like kind of the support you need, because going as an independent agent, especially telesales, I mean, I'm sitting here in my office by myself. It's kind of, you're kind of by yourself, but so it's nice to be in an environment where you're not totally by yourself. Like you have access to it when you need it, like on tap, on demand, when you need that mentorship or you need that connection or something like that. Yeah.
Our
And
community is probably a little different than maybe what
yeah,
you were used to prior.
yeah, it is. It's top notch. It's
And
great.
because you see now, I mean, because you're part of the work family, it's such a great part of our family, John. You do amazing work, man. Proud of you. I mean, not many
Thank you.
agents can have 100% increased levels of production as an agent that's done it for a couple years. I mean, it's not like you're some brand new agent. You've done this a while. So it's like to be able to get 13 sales in 7 days, 8 of which are MAPD. Great renewals, by the way, for everyone watching. Those
Yep.
renewals do not stink. Okay. And
Yep.
then the 5 FE, that's some good money
Yep.
when you're rocking and rolling. I mean, how is your family responding to your increased success ratios now?
Oh, yeah. It's very supportive, and it's just nice to experience that success, and it actually becomes like tangible, and it kind of proves to yourself like, okay, I think I got what it takes, and I'm going to ride this success into next week, and I'm going to try to shoot for another 10 sales or something like that. I mean, I'm not going to take my foot off the pedal.
Absolutely. I mean, and the freedom that you have, I mean, you don't have to go drive. I mean,
Oh
anywhere.
yeah, I know. Yeah, and I can sit in my clean chair. I don't
Because
have to sit in any dirty chair. I mean, these people love them, but sometimes it's a bit spooky things
so
you have to
let's
sit
chat
in.
about
But
that. You were face to face prior. correct?
Yep,
Before you joined the agency. Great
that's right.
face-to-face agent, by the way. All right. Got his stuff done, had good success, but never experienced this level. But you had to sit on, okay, some couches. Maybe,
Yep,
did you ever experience maybe some times, John, where maybe the sweet prospects could be on oxygen and maybe smoking on you and about ready to send you to go see the Lord?
that's
Maybe.
common. Yeah, that's common. Yeah, you'd walk in and you just get punched in the face with whatever smell is in there, and you just got the first one. So I recently got into Medicare this last AEP, my very first sit, like 10 minutes into sitting on his couch. I was like looking at down at my foot because I was filling out paperwork, and then there's just a bed bug that ran across my foot. And so I don't miss that. And then there's another one where I walk in, I help this lady out, but just she had like 6 cats, a dog, and 3 chickens. And we
My
had to
word.
move a chicken off the kitchen table so I could actually put my stuff there. And it's interesting things. It's interesting things. And but I'm am much cleaner in my own house now. That's for sure.
It makes you thankful, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Definitely.
I mean, do you miss the ammonia smells? I mean, I remember it vividly. It's
No,
almost like you can taste it on your teeth. I mean, some of these homes, we love these prospects, first off, okay? For anyone out there
they're always
watching,
so
okay?
nice. Yeah.
They're some of the sweetest people you would ever know. Okay.
Yep.
They're amazing folks. And I run a national insurance agency at jasonfinalexpense.com. I'm very blessed to work together with amazing agents across this nation. Okay. Very much so. And I love the prospects that we serve. So make sure that's really crystal clear. We love them. But let me tell you, they leave a lasting impression that you cannot forget sometimes. Not all, but sometimes. And some of the smells you cannot unsmell. Some of the sights you can't unsee. Yes. Okay. So when you got chickens and you got bed bugs or flea circus or craziness, this is reality of a
Yeah.
face-to-face agent's life. Okay. You're going to be dealing with couches where you're going to sit on them and go, oh, wow, now my clothes don't smell right for the rest of the day. Now, do you remember the smoker households that are so bad where you walk in and your eyes almost burn?
Yep. 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 It just punches you in the face, and it's like you just have to act like it's nothing. Which after you
Absolutely.
be in a couple houses, it's sort of you get a little more, get some thick skin on that where it's kind of like, okay, this isn't as bad as the first time, but it's just yeah, it's not comfortable. It's not as comfortable as my chair here.
Right. So no longer having to drive, no
Yep.
longer having to have the no-shows, because we all know that's
Yep.
a reality face to face. Everyone
Yep.
watching. If you're a face-to-face agent, you're gonna get no-showed a lot.
Yep.
Um, all the everything time, and you come home and get in the shower and you're like, oh wow, where did those smells come from? Didn't even realize those were on me.
Yep.
Okay. For us guys that have any kind of facial hair, okay, John and I do, we kind of understand. Okay, you
Yep.
ladies, woof, it's even worse than us. And it's just your body retains smells. And so are you enjoying maybe the cleaner environment and the
Yes. Definitely. I mean, I don't miss the smells at all. It's a little, I mean, there's pros and cons to both face and face and in
absolutely.
telesales, but I think honestly, for me personally, everyone's going to be a little different. But for me personally, I think telesales is the way forward for sure for me because, like you said, no shows that can be, a bummer, and that's a whole thing you have to deal with because that's like basically sort of like a rejection in and of itself. So you have to know how to handle that. Um, I I don't miss door knocking. I don't have to do
Yes.
that as a telesales agent. Um, don't have to pay for gas. Uh, can talk to more people on a daily basis for sure. I mean, getting 13 sales in a week face to face, I feel like I don't know how many hours I would have to work to do that, honestly. But I did that while being on the phone for I started tracking my time, like actual dial and talk time. And it's probably each day, 5 days a week. This past week, I was on the phone, either dialing or talking to someone for an average of like 6 hours a day. So about 30 hours talk time or something like that. But getting 13 sales face to face in a week, that would be, I feel like, just way more time commitment, honestly, because driving and everything like that, and then no shows and things like that. So
Absolutely. And you've done the model for quite some time, the face to face. You've proven that model. You've been successful. So you're not like some agent that had no success. You had great success, but now you've basically have 100% more success and you're a lot more sanitized, for lack of a
yeah,
better way to, to say it. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, definitely
and
more
that
sanitized.
absolutely. Like the windshield time's real. Like that, the grind, there is a grind though, just for those of you watching. Okay. Telesales, you're going to hear a lot of this. Okay. You're going to hear a lot of dial tone. You're going to
Yep.
hear answering machines like you've never heard, but
Yep.
it's not that hard just to keep dialing and smiling and do what we do. And then, yes, you're going to get told no. Even with the best grip
Mm-hmm.
on the planet, you're going to get told all the objections, and you've got to be ready. And
Mm-hmm.
any place that says there's one objection to handle everything, John, would you say that's a pile of malarkey after what you know now?
I've never liked hearing that. Yeah, and that was what I was always told with other places, and I just, no, that's not good. Because I mean, I that model is basically like, just, you want to kind of like ignore you don't want to full on ignore the objection. Like, you want to address it with what that person actually says, but just the common model of like ignoring it and having the same exact two sentences you say to, like, regardless of what they say, it just, if someone was to do that to me, I'm kind of like, okay, that's just like, you're ignoring me and you're just trying to,
Right.
I'm going to tune you out now because you obviously don't care about what I'm saying, so why am I going to care about what you're saying? Yeah.
Absolutely. And
And
there's so much of
that's
that.
not what you give us rebuttals.
Absolutely. Maybe was it a little bit more turnkey and a little bit more involved in the
Oh yeah.
telemastery program that maybe you even thought? Because no one understands until they've graduated this telemastery program. It's not like, here's a script, hope you make it. We'll spend just a couple hours and we'll see you later. Um,
Right.
John did some work here. Okay. Great men and women that went through his graduating class that wrote business their very first day as well, or within 37 calls. Okay. That's not too shabby. When they bought leads, crazy proud of John and Faith and everyone that's going through and working hard. Okay. And taking that jump, because it is a jump when you're buying leads. It's a little scary, right? Like when you dropped your
Mhm.
lead order, you're like,
Mhm.
oof.
Mhm.
Was it a little scary? A
Definitely.
little bit?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You have to, it's not an expense though. You have to look at it as an investment. It's business you're doing. You do have to spend money. Every business on the planet has to spend money to make money. I mean, there's ways you can go about doing it free, but in my opinion, I think it's much easier if you just get past that mindset and invest in the leads, for sure.
Well, the fact that when you invested it, you worked hard and you went through the program. I mean, we spent a lot of time, and you noticed how I was treating other folks, brand new agents, veterans. Was there any point where anyone was treated differently? Or
Nope.
so if someone did
Everyone's,
something wrong, what happened? Just so the
you
audience
let them
understands.
know. You let them know. He said, he very polite, but you let them know. You got to get it right, and that's important. So that's why we're there. That's why
And
we're
we
there.
wouldn't progress. Like if it
Right.
didn't matter if it was a small thing or a big thing, we wouldn't move on. Just so everyone understands, this isn't a move on based telemastery program. It's do it right or we're going to do it again. No big deal. We're going
Hmm.
to do it again or again and again. If we're
Yeah.
there for as many hours as we got to do, we're just going to get it handled. It's no big deal. But the end result gives you the best chance of survival just for everyone watching. Understand,
Hmm.
not everybody makes in this industry. So anyone shining you on, that says, oh, you'll for sure make $200,000 this year if you just do this. It's a bunch of hooey. Okay. Just so y'all understand. It comes through hard work. It comes through hard work and it comes through hard work. You got to be prepared for the nose. And I mean, prepared for the nose. And John, my goodness, brother, you were prepared for the nose, buddy. When you went through
Hmm.
Hell Week and you had
Yeah.
Hell Day, you held your
Yeah.
own, man. Proud of you. Seriously, you held
Thanks.
your own and you
Yeah.
put the time in. I remember that
Yeah.
vividly. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's like, being confident in your rebuttals, like that. There's a lot of key components that you have to get down fundamentally wise. But that, personally, for me, was what was most important to me. And the telemastery program provides that to a whole other level. You will get fantastic rebuttal knowledge.
No one ever taught you CRT prior to the industry joining me. No one ever taught you all these extra like ways of speaking and tonality techniques. None of that
Right?
type of
No,
thing.
not at
Yeah, that's
all.
and telesales is such a niche, as you now know, because you're like
Yeah,
inside baseball now. So it's like now you're
yeah,
slaying it at 13 sales in 7 days. But it's like for folks that aren't in the industry, they don't understand. They think, oh, I can just be a face-to-face guy, grab a free script somewhere and just go have at it. And you've played with some of those free scripts, haven't you? Is that
I
correct in the
have.
past?
Yeah, no, I definitely have. I
And
totally have.
what was your experience and results when you were playing with some of the stuff that you saw at the starter companies and some of the things you've seen in the industry?
Well, I definitely wasn't nearly as confident in the presentation itself. Um, and it didn't. Some of them, especially some of when I tried to use some of them for telesales, I mean, they're like so long, like so long, like 15, 20 pages long. And
Yikes.
after coming over and experiencing what you give us, it's you can have still be successful and be much more efficient.
Efficiency is everything. That's why you're not in the field anymore. That's why it's like you're able to do telesales without,
Yeah,
having to drive all over the planet. And it's like,
right.
this is nothing against you face to face cats out there. I respect you. Okay. Yet
Yep.
I've got a lot of great face to face agents that partner in my national agency as well. I have the mad respect for all of you. So y'all know that. But understand the telesales side of it is more efficient. It's a better model. It's just,
Still
man,
hard.
it
Still
is
hard.
still hard, absolutely, but it's
Yeah.
at least I can get more balls hit in the course of a day than I can driving all over the planet waiting for Mrs. Johnson to get home when she no-shows me, or I drive 2 hours and I find a sticky note on the door that says, "I changed my mind, I don't want nothing." That's
Hmm.
it's so demoralizing. I don't know about you, but when you drive that far, have
Yeah,
you
that
ever had
sucks.
that period of time where it's like you get a sticky note on the door and it's not you leaving a sticky note, which is what face-to-face agents should do, but you remember what does that make you feel like when that took place? When you got a sticky
Yeah,
note?
when I'm driving around and I have to drive, far away. I never drove too far away. I think the longest I drove was like 40 minutes. But I did have experiences where I had to drive like 40 minutes and then I would get no showed to a scheduled appointment. And just that's you have to come over, you have to, that's part of being a face-to-face agent. That's just part of the thing. You have to get to the point where it doesn't phase you, but it's challenging and it's annoying. But the nice thing about telesales is it's harder in some aspects than face-to-face. But the potential for it, like once you get through the learning curve, um, which I personally still think I'm still kind of I'm on the sort of on the end of the learning curve, kind of, but I'm still working through it. But once you like get it, once you crack it, I guess the potential for how much you can do in like a day or a week is going to be face to face. I mean, what you could get done over the phone in 8 hours will require you to have work like an 16-hour day or, more to get that done face to face.
Absolutely, man. You're just compressing time. It's because we do
Yeah.
control time. We decide when we want to work. We're not working around somebody else's schedule. When you're appointment setting, you're at the mercy of whenever this great prospect will allow you to come out and go visit them. Right. It's like where with us, it's like we just get on that phone and just get after it. And all of these were outbound calls.
Hmm.
Just so the audience understands. Is that right for the audience, John? None of these were inbound. These were all outbound.
Hmm. All outbound. That's correct. Yep. No inbound.
So they weren't calling you saying, buy insurance for me, and you sold 13. You called them and then
Hmm.
sold everything by phone. No Zooming. So the audience understands we
No
don't use
zooming.
Zoom. There's
No
no room
zooming.
for Zoom. Okay.
Nope. I just used my headset and my two monitors here. No Zoom. No inbound. Nothing. Yeah. It's just lots of dialing, lots of dialing.
And it is. There's no substitute for everybody watching. Okay. You want to do telesales, you better get ready to tune the fingers up. Okay. Because you
Yep.
got to just call. There's no
Yep.
substitute to hard work. You can't just sit there and look at your phone and expect to make sales. You got to do some things. All right. So
Hmm.
telesales is awesome, but it's got the same hustle muscle problems that face to face agents experience, where if you don't go see the people, you're going to go broke.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
if in telesales, you don't go talk to the people, you're going to find out that you're going to go potentially broke too. And there's no promise of
Hmm.
success in this industry. Okay. The harder you work, the luckier you should get. Okay. And
Hmm.
when you're skilled up, like what John is, and you work really hard, you're just going to get better and better, brother. I'm crazy proud of you. You will. You watch, like you're already scaling at 100% of what you ever did before. And now you're just going to
Hmm.
start just rocketing up. I mean, it's like you don't get it as long as you don't allow it to happen. Gravity won't strike you. But if you allow gravity to strike you, like you and I've talked about,
Yeah.
that's where it gets squirrely. Because some agents, and we can all be victim to this, by the way, myself included, we all kind of go from being a hero to a zero,
Hmm.
sometimes from call to call. Like,
Yep.
would you say telesales is maybe a little bit more of a mental game as much as it is with face to face as well? I think that holds
Oh
true.
gosh, probably. Yeah. I mean, the industry itself is a mental game, but probably telesales, I would say, is more so mental game because you're it's I mean, both are a grind. Face to face and telesales are both a grind. They're both, I would say, simple, but they're not easy. Both are hard in their own ways. Um, but yeah, I mean, you just gotta have the right mindset. If you can have the right mindset and put in the work, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. And if you have access to the right support system and the right mentor and the right training, you're gonna be good.
Mentorship helped you a lot? Do you feel like that's been a factor in your
Oh,
increased success where
yes. Yes, absolutely. The partnering with you or Jason Final Expense was a key move for me personally. And yeah, just yes.
and we've got, I mean, you're part of our work family, and it's like our culture, is different by design.
Hmm.
Like our agency on average, we partner, as John knows, on average, like 1 out of 30, sometimes less. Okay.
Hmm.
Where we guard the culture. And now that you've been in, okay, our work family for a bit now, okay, from where you came from in your past starter companies, your past IMOs, other places that you've been, do you see a pretty significant difference for you in how kind of the work family interacts
Yeah.
comparatively?
th- Yeah, everyone's happy, everyone's supportive, everyone is there to help each other out, answer questions. Um, it's great. It really is. It's great.
I mean, we're not perfect by any stretch, everyone. John knows, even in training, okay, I can be human too. And if I make
Yeah.
a mistake, I'm like, sorry, guys. Oops. All right, let's get back after it. Okay. So nobody's gonna be perfect in this industry, but be prepared to be extremely proficient. It's about
Yep.
being extremely proficient. Okay. You've
Yeah.
got to really put the time in if you want to take it to the next level. And John and everyone in the graduating class, everyone that bought leads, they all wrote business, didn't they, John?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It was
That
pretty
is a
exciting. Like you wrote biz your first day
Yep.
when you were hitting it, and then so did Faith. Well, she
Yep.
got technically it was her second day, but it was on like I think it was like call number 37. So tomato.
Yeah.
Okay, but she wrote business her second day. If we want to get real technical on it, okay, it's truth. But
Right.
I'm proud. I mean, not many agents can go 30 something calls and then make a sale. I mean, I
Yeah.
consider that a day's work on the phone and then some. And
Yeah.
everybody watching knows if you're in telesales and you only called 37 leads and got a sale, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm proud of
No,
her.
yeah,
Crazy proud
that's
of her
good.
too.
That's definitely good. That's definitely good. Most agents probably, I would wager, don't even write a single policy after they get licensed. So,
Right?
let alone their first day. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's like a lot of agents, I don't think they ever get trained, honestly. They don't get trained to that level. They sure as hey probably don't go through what you went through and Faith went through and everybody else that went through the telemastery program went through the 5 days straight, where we're just like getting after it. Okay. And those
Hmm.
3 live days they're not short days. Did you have a lot of homework, just the audience knows, when you were done?
Oh, there's plenty of homework. Yeah, plenty of studying. Yeah,
Did you have any clue
definitely.
that was coming at you? Because I warned you a little bit, but did you have any clue it was going to go to like that depth of
It was more than I was expecting. It was more than I was expecting. It was all good though. It's all good.
At least you're
Definitely.
achieving more than maybe you thought was initially possible.
Yeah, I got so much more out of that whole course than I thought it was going. I knew it was gonna be good going into it. I, like, had full confidence it was gonna be good, but it was providing me with way more tools, way more confidence than I was expecting it to.
And you've been a student of the business. I mean, when we came up on Hell Day, as we call it, and we just started
Yeah.
going and doing what we all do, okay, to just train and school up. I mean, it was just you did some work, and so did the other
Yeah.
folks in the class. But you put in the hours, you put in the time. I mean,
Yep.
this business, and I always say that this in every telemastery program. I'm like, I can't care more about your business than you do, right? And it's
Mhm.
like every person in that class, you got to take your career seriously if you want to have the best chance of
Mhm.
capitalizing in this industry, because this business is not for the weak of heart. It's for the warriors. It's the ones that say, listen, I'm going to go help our prospects win. I'm going to help our prospects win. I'm going to go serve them. But you don't do it by just showing up with a briefcase and a pile full of stuff, because I'm a licensed
Oh,
insurance agent. You don't grab a free script somewhere and buy some leads. That's real
yep.
dangerous. And then you waste money on leads, not knowing what you're doing. And you can
Mhm.
hurt yourself even when you know what you're doing, everybody. If your mind's not right, your methods aren't tight, okay, and then it's just a numbers game, you do everything perfect, you can get yourself hurt too. So don't let anybody shine you on with that either. You can get hurt.
Mhm.
Okay. This industry is amazing, but it's a people business, and you got to be
Mhm.
prospecting. So if you
Mhm.
don't put that time in, you won't necessarily have the results that you want. And results, you can't, this isn't like a model where you can say, okay, if I just do this, I will always and every day get that. It just,
Yeah.
would you say that's pretty solid advice from what you've experienced as an agent that's done this a while?
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be ups and downs. You can do the same thing day in and day out and kill it one week and do the same thing day in, day out next week and not do anything. And then you can have like a bad you can definitely have a bad day. Um, you can have a bad week. It's pretty rare to have a bad month, I would say. Like,
Right.
but you can definitely have a bad day. You can definitely have a bad week. Maybe you can have a bad 2 week stretch, but it's hard to have like a really bad month. But it's ups and downs. You just gotta r- ride the highs and try to, tolerate the lows. It's just part of it. It comes back to the whole mindset thing for sure.
Tolerate is such a great word. It's so
Yeah.
true. I mean, you do have to tolerate it sometimes. That's a great word, John. It is. That's solid, brother. Because it is. It's like
Yeah.
we have to tolerate the tough calls because you're just getting the
Mhm.
no out of the way for everyone watching. And a lot of times we get that no on us. And it's like no can be demoralizing if you don't know what to do with the no's. Okay. Like,
Mhm.
John, were any of your calls gimmies? Any of them? All
I've
13 sales you did in 7 days, were any of them like gimmies? Like you call them and they go, oh, hooray, John, here's my money. Here, go take my Medicare business. Were any of them those like gimmies?
no, no. I don't think I've ever had a gimme in my career ever. I mean,
Absolutely.
maybe I have, but they're rare. Don't They're not gonna happen. No one's sitting out there and these people answering the phone and I don't know, it sounds like they have the phone on their shoulder and they're talking or something on the TV. I mean, no one's answering the phone. And it's like, ooh, I'm excited. I get to talk about health insurance or life
Hey,
insurance.
right? That's everybody's
I've been
dream, isn't
waiting
it?
for you. I'm so happy you
Right?
called. Yeah. No, a lot of the times they'll answer you and they're like, I've already had 10 other calls today and you have to, you know, be the call that they stay on the phone with and that actually gets the job done. And it'll take a minute to get to that level, but you have a great foundation with what we learn in that course. And it's applicable. I know the main focus is final expense, but I've used what I've learned to. I even called you and asked you to help me kind of like come up with a game plan in terms of approaching my my existing Medicare clients, and
Absolutely.
you can transition the fundamentals over to that too. So yeah,
Absolutely. I remember that call. We did some custom work for you and just kind of tweaked a couple things,
yeah,
and
that
you had
was
some good
killer, by the
ideas.
way. Yeah, what you helped me out, it was killer. I mean, I only worked like part-time. I had something going on that day. I can't remember. I had like errands or some appointment or something, but I literally only made 4 calls, 3 people answered, and the third client was like, "Yep, definitely." It was successful, ended up in a sale, and that came up with a nice little script basically that you formed for me. Like you gave me a custom. Yeah, that was a call I gave you. You answered and
Right?
walked me through it, asked me if I had any questions, and then I got after it. So I mean, you were there for me.
You had implementation, brother. Proud of you. I mean, a lot of people think about doing something and don't actually do it. It's like, so for, for our any man and woman in our agency, anybody that partners, if you guys need a custom script, that's what I do. It's work
Yep.
family. It's like we just take care of each other. And I do this for folks all over the United States, for goodness sakes. I do a lot of consulting, and you always come first, and every person on our family comes first. And it's like to have a custom script that actually can produce results quickly. It's important. It is like
Yeah.
what we say and how we say certain things. It does have an impact because the
Yep.
way that you've maybe thought about doing it before wasn't producing the same levels of success for you. Is that right? For the most part?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Prior to joining to partnering with you, this has skyrocketed my success, and I know it's going to continue to do that because I have access to you in my corner, and you're there when I need you. I mean, you've already been there dozens. I've asked you dozens of questions already, multiple phone calls. You've always helped me find an answer to something.
You know what you're doing. I mean, it's like, but it's nice, sometimes just to know that you've got some support. It is like
Yep,
if you don't get an
it's
answer,
important.
does it cost you money if you don't get an answer at your prior starter companies where you've got to schedule a call to talk to somebody and you're on the phone trying to sell or even in a home? Can you really wait 30 minutes for your upline? Can you wait 2 hours, 3 hours to get an answer? I mean, are you going to
No,
sit there in
no,
a home with bed
no.
bugs and wait 2 hours for somebody to get back to you?
Goodness, no, you're not going to do that. No, you need someone that is there that in that moment.
I mean, that's why it's like, we all swing together. If
Yep,
John's working, I'm working. Okay. Everybody in the squad, they understand.
yep,
It's doesn't matter if it's nights, John sees me popping off on the weekends.
yep.
We have
I don't.
fun.
I almost don't believe that you sleep.
Some days not as much, but I love what we do. Like it's fun. Like it really is. I am can't even talk today. I'm an obnoxious cheerleader, okay, as Phil and everyone else will tell you. But we have fun. I mean, celebrating our
Yep,
wins, celebrating your wins, brother. Crazy proud of you. Like you earned this. You earned your hard work, and the results that you're experiencing. That's all you, man. You did the hard work, you did the heavy lifting. You're picking up that 9,000 pound phone. Like
yep,
even when you're first trained, does it feel a little heavy? When you that
yeah.
first call, when you pick that thing up, I was like, oh crud.
Yeah, I mean, even this past week, even like midweek after I already, was successful on Monday and Tuesday or, whatever, every day there's going to be at least one time where I'm kind of like hesitant, where I'm kind of like thinking like, oh, I could go take a 2-hour lunch or something.
Right?
I could go, you know, hang out with my dog and watch TV or something. But you just got to be like, oh, I'm just going to click dial. And then here we are. Yeah. But you have to stay motivated. Well, once you get that, but it's like we say, the mindset, once you get in the right mindset, and it'll be helpful once you experience a little bit of success. Because once you experience like your first good week, then you can know that you're on the right course and that you have what it's take. But it definitely takes some I guess grit to get there first. And you will get there if you stick it out.
Absolutely. And it's a marathon. It's not a sprint for everyone watching. This business is a marathon. And
And you have to get started. That's one thing going back because the analysis paralysis, that was me when I was first in this. That was totally me. I was thinking like, all right, I need to have the perfect CRM and I need to set up the CRM in the perfect way. And I need to have, I don't even know, my desk organized in the perfect way. And I need to make a spreadsheet for this. And I need to make a spreadsheet for that. And it's really, really, really dangerous to get stuck into the shiny object syndrome and get sucked in the administrative non-revenue producing activities, which they're important, but I mean, you do those after 5, after on the weekends, or, when you're done for the day, you can work on those for like an hour or two here and there. But yeah, you do not want to get stuck in analysis paralysis, because that's how I was at the beginning of my career. I mean, I got licensed and then I was just like doing useless things for like at least 2 months.
Keeps you preoccupied, right? You're
Yeah.
preoccupied thinking, oh wow, I'm gonna be powerful someday, right? It's like it's such fiat currency. Like a lot
Yeah.
of folks like, oh, I need to have this special CRM. I need a special dialer because if I don't have a dialer, I can't do this, right? And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
now if I don't have a plan your week, okay, special, okay, day planner, then I can't be deliberate. And no, I got to have these special post-it notes to leave on the doors, not just a regular
Right.
pile of posties. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
these are
Or
my post-it notes. Even when
yep.
I was doing face-to-face, I never bought any special delivery notice posties. Oh, come on. I grab a
Yeah.
post-it note, folks. Like keep it
Yeah. It doesn't
simple,
matter.
salesman.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, I did, um, I would have like the lead printed out or whatever. If they didn't answer, then I would just fold it up and then just like write my name and number and then leave it in the door. Post-it note might actually be better though, honestly, because I don't know, there's kind of more mystery, I guess, and that's kind of more they might call you back sort of, and as opposed to leaving the lead form maybe, but I did the lead form. But you should do something like that. I
You
think
got
it's
to
worth
leave
it.
something. You might as
Yeah.
well. I mean, this
Yeah.
business is so archaic. I mean,
Mhm.
it's this business is not like one of those things where I know a lot of people these days are like, oh, there's the new way to sell insurance, the new way. It's like this is a time-tested noble profession. It's as old as mold for everybody watching. Okay. There's no like shortcut, okay, to the top of the mountain. There's not.
Mhm.
You're gonna die trying. Okay. So
Mhm.
for those of you that are like, oh, there's this new way, like I'll have all my Calendly book and spend 15 minutes with every person, and everybody's just gonna say yes to you. It's not the truth, everyone. You may find a couple people that may say yes to you that quickly, but sales, you have to spend the time. For those of you watching, it's like if I put super glue between my fingers. I'm horrible at analogies. Sorry, babe. My wife. Okay, if she's watching, there you go. But it's super glue. If you don't have the time, okay, nothing adheres. Okay, you touch it and nothing will stick. With
Yeah.
sales, you have to spend the time. And anyone shining you on that there's this special newfangled snake oil, okay, that you're going to spend 15 minutes on a call and it's just going to happen. How would that work for you, John, if that was the case? Because that's definitely not the case in how we train and teach and how we actually spend time, even in homes. Like when you were face-to-face agent, does that even hold true in a home when you can build so much more trust? Because
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And yeah, it's really important what you want to focus on when you're first in this. You don't want to do analysis paralysis like I did and a lot of other people do. You want to, when you start a new business, because it is a business that you're starting.
absolutely.
It's a business that you're starting. How do you make money as a business? You make sales. How do you make sales? You talk with people. So the first thing that you need to focus on, 99% of your energy needs to be talking with people and trying to make those sales, making those out at bats, getting those experiences, getting you know the failures out of the way, embarrassing yourself maybe once or twice, but that's good. Because you'll learn from that and then you'll move on. Who cares? Whatever. And that'll make you more successful. And then the experimenting, you can do that later once you're established, but you need to grow your revenue first. And then once you have reached the max growth of your revenue, that would be the time where you kind of look at, okay, I can start experimenting, or like, okay, now I've grown my revenue to this point where I can try to figure out if there's a cheaper CRM to cut costs. But first, you want to expand the revenue before you cut the costs. So, first thing you want to focus on is positive mindset, getting out there, talking with people. That's what's important.
Absolutely agree with you hardcore 100%. That's exactly. It's so important. You got to see the people. There's no shortcut to seeing the people. And is it our lead vendors are obviously completely different than maybe where you came from and some other things that you've had. And is
Hmm.
it nice to know that you've got maybe some exclusive lead vendors that you can utilize that
Oh yeah,
are effective? And it's not like, oh, hey, go spend $30 on a lead, hope this works for you and give me your feedback if it doesn't.
right.
Because some agencies are like this. They're like, hey, go give this a shot. This lead, like, hope it works. Like, and
Yeah.
sometimes the agency owners haven't written business in 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 years. The agency owners have never written business. So it's like the agent force is their canaries, and that's no place to capitalize. Just for the audience watching, like, I do not recommend lead vendors that are not vetted, okay, and that work really
Mhm.
well for our work family, because my goodness, that's just dangerous. It's dangerous enough if you don't know what you're doing, but
Mhm.
to have a bad lead vendor, it gets too
Oh, yeah.
expensive. I mean, because you
Yeah.
spent quite a bit of money on some lead vendors in the past, right? That didn't have a great
Yeah. Yeah,
close
and
rate.
there's a bajillion people out there trying to sell leads. I mean, it's never, ever, ever ending. I mean, if you ever join like a Facebook group that's insurance related, you'll just see constant postings, constant lead vendors. But that's one of the nice things about partnering with you. There's a lot of nice things: the training, the access to you, the mentorship, the support, the community, that the work family community is awesome. And then having access to, tried and true vendors with discounts, exclusive discounts. That's
Right.
nice.
I mean,
That's nice.
if I can save you 2 cents, I'm gonna do it. I mean, it's important. Like, the better that I can make, you, the better I make us, and that's where
Hmm.
the world revolves around that. And it's just bizarre to me sometimes where certain places eat off both sides of the same apple. Kind of crazy, and then sometimes it's like, even where we get busy and, making your own Facebook leads, nothing wrong with that for everyone
Right.
watching. It's good, but it can be its own problem too. If things get shut down, and then next thing you know, you're like panicking. And I don't
Yeah.
make my own Facebook leads. I'm not that smart. Okay. But I know some great folks that do. So if you guys need help,
Hmm.
reach out. Okay. Serve you, get you taken care of that way. But it can be its own problem. Have you ever tried to do that before? Like, make your own leads?
I
There's some great people to do it, but
a little bit. I haven't. I've gotten like a course on it. It's a
sure.
good course, but
Absolutely.
going through the motions and applying it consistently and learning it, I'm not at the point where, like I said, I'm still in the phase of focusing on sales, growing revenue,
Exactly.
and lead generation is the cutting costs. That's like the phase of the business plan that lead generation is. I think it's worth it. Like, I definitely see the value in learning that at some point. You
Absolutely.
shouldn't start off with it though, unless you're coming from a background where you used to work in advertising and you kind of have an idea of what you're doing or something. But when you're first in here, when you're first in insurance, you want to learn how to write policies and how to talk with people and how to help people out. That's what you need to do. Down the line, then you can start, throwing in some lead generation to supplement the leads that you're buying. And then once kind of you kind of get that down, that would make total sense to kind of ramp it up. But that is not an initial thing you want. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing that initially.
Not when you can get leads for the cost that we can get leads at. It doesn't
Yeah.
make, I love that. So it's all about the revenue, income producing activities, income producing activities. It's
Hmm.
invaluable. Listen to what, John's trying to help you with here. You've got to be about the most important thing in every given minute. That's buy leads, get on the phone, and know what you're doing. And if you're not being trained, get somebody that can help you really accomplish this so that you can go help these great prospects. It's not about putting your time into these like time drains. And it can be.
Hmm.
Like, if you're trying to be a professional
Yep.
marketer, trying to make your own leads, nothing against that. But man, I've got some amazing men and women across this nation, okay, that do their own leads. They're amazingly gifted. And let me tell you, there's some times, even though they've got a background in marketing, John, a background in marketing, there's times where it's like, whoo, beep, beep, beep. This is a pain in my right now. Like, man, it's like you take them off their feet for a week because their
Yeah.
source goes down. So one is none for everyone watching. One is none. Two is okay. One. You've got to have multiple legs on your stool if you want stability. So, listen to what John's trying to help you with. You've got to have multiple legs on your stool if you want to have stability. And if you've
Hmm.
got good lead vendors, you know what? You'll be just fine. If you've got a good closing ratio, you probably don't care if you pay a little bit of extra buck or two for your leads,
Right.
and save that, right?
Right. Right.
So,
Definitely.
yeah, it's important. So, well, what is your favorite thing about doing telesales now?
My favorite thing about doing telesales?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
There's a lot of things I like about it. My favorite thing, I really like I really like sitting in a clean chair, honestly. I mean, I that's probably my favorite thing. Uh, the one thing I miss about face to face is I actually didn't mind the driving. I knew I wasn't making money while driving, but I didn't mind it because I listened to like podcasts or something like that. I was trying to do something productive. I was trying to learn, like, in some aspect. So now I have to find times if I want to do that to listen to like a podcast outside of time, but that's not a big, who cares, whatever. But the telesales, probably my actual favorite thing about telesales is the potential. Because once you get in the groove, once you know what you're doing, the amount of work that you can get done in a day is just going to be what you can get done in the field. It's going to take a minute to get there. It's going to take probably honestly a little more investment, a little more time. It's a little more upfront work because it's easier to connect with someone when you're sitting on their couch petting their dog.
Absolutely.
It's way harder because all these people that we're working with too, they are getting bombarded with calls. So you have to, figure out how to stand out a little bit from that, which you help with, and you give us the ways of how to stand out. But once you get past that learning curve and you kind of come over that slope, the potential for it is going to blow up.
Absolutely. And it's like, I could so resonate with you, where it's like before you've got all this time to build when you drive around, you can be listening to YouTube and podcasts, and
Yeah.
it is kind of relaxing, even though you're like,
Yeah.
worried about getting rear-ended and everybody,
Yeah.
that happens too on the road. But
Yeah.
yeah, with telesales, we don't have that time. We don't have that, like that downtime, which makes us so much more deliberate in what we do and how we can, get higher levels of success because we don't have that, you know, windshield time, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So
Definitely.
yeah, I resonate with that too. But I dig it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. The nice smells and then having a good chair. You're gonna wear that chair out, brother. You watch. You will wear that chair out.
Oh, I
So
believe it. I
make sure you
believe it.
stockpile for a nice good one. Okay. I've gone through a couple different chairs in my
Yeah.
career. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's
I know. It's a comfy chair too, but I have to put a pillow under here sometimes because it's like you sit on your butt a lot. I actually want to get a
yes.
standing desk is what I really want to get. I really want to get a standing desk, but
Great.
yeah,
They're great. They are
yeah,
awesome. So yeah, I'll
definitely.
hook you up with what I'm using. It's
Oh, you
money.
have one?
Oh, you know it, buddy. You know it. Now, at
Yeah.
first, I didn't for quite a few years, and then I was like, "Oh man, I got this stand up desk, and it's got enough real estate on it, so I've got everything I need. I got my leads, I've got my monitors up, I've got my phone systems, my headsets. Everything is all right here, and then some. I've got multiple phones on my desk because
Oh yeah.
I got my main line. I've got another phone. Okay. I'm sitting here with another one. It's how we operate. Like in our agency, I'm always as much as I can, and I'm not perfect. So if I'm on the phone with somebody, and then let's say John calls, I'll text him right now. Hey man, you want me to kill this call? You need me ASAP? I got you. And then I'll dump a call for him and anybody in the work family. It's not a problem. John's seen me do it. And I
Hmm.
don't know if I did that to you, not intentionally when we first met. I'm not sure if I dumped a call on you
No,
or
you
not.
didn't.
I've I've done that before to
Not to me, at
great
least.
great prospects that have just reached out, not clients, okay, not client prospects, but
Yeah.
folks wanting to partner with the agency, and then like you would call or somebody else would call. I'm like, hey, gotta go. Click. It's
Yep.
like call you back, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are always a priority, not everybody else. So, but yeah, it's a different feel for sure. But yeah,
Definitely.
crazy, crazy proud of you. I'll give you some good advice on some stand-up desk because it is phenomenal. Okay. You get
Yeah.
into your, little older in your years, you'll really value a stand-up desk because let me tell you,
I
your
know.
circulation ain't what it used to be in the 20s and the 30s. Okay. I'm in my 40s now. So it's like, yikes, man. My
I
circulation's still
know.
good, people, but it ain't what it used to be. All right. So it's kind of nice to have that stand-up desk and move around a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I can see the value in that. I mean, sitting here, my neck too, I get like my neck gets kind of stiff or whatever. So I feel like kind of standing up, better posture would be nice in the long run.
So yeah, stand-up desk is nice. It is nice, but yeah. Do you with your years in the face-to-face side, did you ever have any like horror stories? You ever have any like car wrecks or anything that was just
No,
psycho that happened on you?
no, no. I don't have any good
Good.
stories. I had
That's
some just
good.
a couple of gross, houses, some chickens running around. I have brought that up, bed bugs.
Chickens is
But
crazy.
but that's pretty tame from the other things that I've heard, honestly. I mean, I've never came across a rude person. I never sat down with with someone who was a little loopy or anything, 'cause that's definitely something that your most face-to-face agents will deal with. You might come across someone who's, has a touch of schizophrenia or something like that. But
Oh, goodness,
um,
yes.
no horror stories, thankfully. I'm trying to think here. I really don't think
You are blessed.
I don't
That
have
is
any
awesome.
horror stories. Yeah, just kind of like the normal hoarder houses that are kind of gross, bed bugs,
Oh, yeah.
uh, cat pee, but
Oh, the
nothing
cat pee's
horrible.
a real thing. That ammonia. Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's a
it's
real
a
thing.
real thing. For
Yeah, it's
those of you
gross.
watching, if you've always been telesales, count yourself blessed, okay? Because the ammonia is a real deal. Like it
Yeah,
makes this, and I hate like this smoke. Like you walk into these homes and it's like yellow walls, and it's like, nope, that wasn't painted yellow. That's the smoke residue, right? But the
yeah.
ammonia is worse, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Yeah, with COVID going on and everything too, a lot of people want you to wear a mask, and I was burning through masks because it was like almost every house was, gross enough to where I need to put on a new mask because it just smelled like cigarettes and cat pee or something like that.
Thank God you don't have to wear a mask anymore doing tele.
Yeah,
You don't wear a mask for each phone call. We don't have to do that, maybe. Just maybe.
nope, nope, don't have to do that.
Yeah, little safer doing what we do. Well,
Yep.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us and helping the audience. And
Yeah,
amazing success, buddy. Just nothing but proud of you and the team and everybody, even your graduating class, watching Faith grow. For Faith, if you're watching, proud of you too.
good job, Faith.
You did good. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you. Anybody that needs help, feel free to reach out. JasonFinalExpense.com will help you. I'll let you lead us out, John.
All
Say see
right,
you.
YouTube, adios. Thanks for being here, and thank you for having me here.